This week we're going to look at HelloFresh, a pasta, a rice and a noodle. All the ingredients matching 3 meals and then 4 people. So I want to show you how quickly this can be done. Chicken is coming along now and there'll be a little picture here. Garlic's coming along nicely. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. We've got our 12 meals here. I'm just trying to get everything into the sauce. So hopefully you enjoy this video and it's useful for you. Okay, we're back reviewing meal prep companies, and this week we're going to look at HelloFresh. So if you haven't seen the other videos, the purpose is each of us, we've got this challenge. We've got to feed ourselves, and we've got the choice between spending ages cooking each evening, or you can just eat out, you can get takeaway, but then that's quite pricey. So there are these companies which exist, which I've dubbed as meal prep companies, and they all sort of try and cater to this need. So they take a bit of a premium, but they all sort of solutionize this problem. So they either give you the meals sort of fully prepared, such as prepped pots and Lion's Prep, which we've looked at, or they can be a bit like HelloFresh, where they'll give you the ingredients and the recipes and you make it yourself. So this video is going to be a bit different in the fact that I've actually used HelloFresh quite a bit, and there's a few tricks to the trade, which I'm going to show you. So hopefully you enjoy this video and it's useful for you. This is the ordering page for HelloFresh, and so I'm not going to do a holistic review of everything and show you absolutely every option and how to set up an account and things, but I just wanted to show you what I do and what really helps me out to do the whole HelloFresh meal prep quickly. If I go to change meals, here is where you can see the different types of meals they have, and so you can go to one. Okay, like here. And what I wanted to show you is, it says the time of how long it will take to make. So this one's, 45 minutes, and it says 40-minute prep time. Okay, so they have actually got a bit better HelloFresh. This is the first time I'm seeing this. They're now being more honest with how long it actually takes. So there are quite a few, and maybe this is now 100% truthful with this, but what I was going to say was normally it's 2 to 3 times longer in reality to make the food than what it actually says. So what you don't want to do is where it's something which says like 40 minutes, or like if it's in like an hour, just because it'll take so long to make. And so if you want to do it, that's fine, but if your whole goal is you're trying to save time by using these meal prep companies, it's not really great to do. So what I always do is I go quick and easy. I go to this option, and it says about the calories here, and I'll sort of highlight it. So you can go, they've also got the option for healthy options, but for me, my number one priority is the time. I try and get the shortest lengths possible, and then it's the calories. So go quick and easy, and then so some of them are 15, some of them are 20, but that's what you sort of want to aim for. So you've got different options here, and what I try and do is I try and get a variety. I try and get a pasta, a rice and a noodle. So I might actually change one of these, see if there's something better than the sweet sticky Korean style chicken. So there's the yellow tie here, that's quite good. So yeah, this one could take a while, it's like 45 minutes in total. Yeah, okay. Although, it is actually around about the same. This is definitely a game changer, they've added the time. It's fine, so here you can customize bits, but that's all fine. Cool, then you press save. So, let's just ask about extras. Okay, so that's the first tip with this. Get the ones which are shorter prep time and just shorter cooking time, just because if it's very long, it's just gonna take forever. And the next bit I want to show you, go account settings. Okay, perfect. So this is the bit I wanted to show. So at the moment when I'm meal prepping, it's actually just myself, so one person. But what I do is I select for 4 people and I'll have 3 meals. And so I do it like this because what it means is that when the package actually comes, I'm only cooking 3 different meals and there's 4 portions of each. So it's 12 in total. And so this is a better way to do it as opposed to having like 5 meals, then for like 2 people, which would give you 10 meals, because then it's actually 5 different meals you're cooking. It's just, because it's just a smaller amount of pasta or rice you're cooking each time. So there's a lot of synergy doing it this way, of just having 3 meals and then 4 people. It does mean you'll have 4 of each meal, and so you're having the same meal 4 times that week, and you're doing that 3 times. So yeah, so those are the biggest tips, and this is how you'd order. So here, we'll look at this in a bit, but here's the price breakdown. And so because I've been doing this quite a while, I no longer get the discounts that it says. But when you first join, or if someone refers you, if you refer a friend, they get quite a big discount at the beginning and for a few weeks afterwards. As well as this, to try and entice you to buy other products, sometimes they'll give you like a free chocolate bar or a free drink of something. And yeah, so it's just a small little bonus you get. But this is everything with ordering. So there's this cool thing HelloFresh do. They do a referral scheme. So if you use this link, and I'll also include it at the bottom of the video, you'll get a free box sent to you, and I get £50. So please go ahead and do it.
You need the one right back to our group.
So we're going to do HelloFresh. And so this is actually a meal prep company which I've done quite a few times, and so I've got pretty good at it because we've been exploring these meal prep companies, and whereas some of them provide the food pre-made, there are some which give you the recipes, and that's kind of the trade-off of what they say. They say, it's long prep time and things, which is true, but I believe I've actually got quite a knack for this, and I've got the methodology down. So I want to show you how quickly this can be done. So the time now is 4:34 according to this clock. So yeah, so let's see how quickly you can do the full week's worth of food just by myself. Normally you get the recipes like this. So this is the first meal, and it'll have a number on it. And normally it's not a whole, it's literally the first 9 hours. As well as this, you've got the chilling box. So this is heavily insulated, and you've got ice blocks inside. So yeah, ice blocks inside to help it keep cool. So if you want at home to put this directly into the fridge, just during the transport, it helps to keep it cool, keep all the meat cool and not rotten. Taking everything out. So I always keep hold of the box because there's a lot of rubbish generated during this. And so the box, it means it just collects all, so after you've done cooking, you get a whole week's worth of rubbish as well, already in the bin. Okay, so the chill box don't need any more. So what they have is they've got menus like this. And so this one is the 39, the bag we just had with the hole in. And there'll be a little picture here of the food, what it looks like, and then on the right hand side it's got a high level view of all the different ingredients, and then at the back it's got the instructions. So what I find, so when you're first doing this, you find you're having to read through the recipe a lot and things to understand what's going to happen, but I've done this so many times now, the meals are, I'm used to them. I've done quite a few repetitions of them, and they're all quite similar in terms of the cooking methodology. So I often have to look at the menu. Like I look at it like 2% of the time. Something I'll flag here is, see here where it says 20 minutes? So you get different times, different durations of how long the meals take to make. But you can filter just have the quick prepare meals. Because something HelloFresh is not good for is that they're not honest with how long it takes to actually make this stuff. So you can double or triple the time that it tells you to make it. So where it says 20 minutes, an hour for sure, that's what it'll be. It's a bit like compliance training at work, it takes a lot longer than what they actually say. Cool, so today I've got Thai green style chicken thigh curry, and I've got easy peasy chicken mushroom pasta, and then I've got quick teriyaki ginger beef noodles. So I've actually got a cupboard up here which I use to keep all the HelloFresh stuff. So here are all past menus, and I'm just going to stick it up here for now. So this is the meals I still need to cook. Here's been the completed meals. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boil the kettle. So grab the 39 and then find the menu which says 39. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay out all the ingredients in the order they come. Now I've got all the ingredients matching to how it is. So gonna cut the garlic. So just snap it off here and then just break it by hand. I cut the end and I try and not do it 100% because then you get this first peel. And then yeah, just sort of peel it. But this is not a pro tip at all. I'm not great at this. Halfway through the garlic, but I'm gonna start to cook now. Okay, so with the rice, so you can make the rice taste better if you rinse it a few times, but to me it tastes okay if you don't rinse it. So we've got it here, so throw in a bit of salt, 2 centimeters from above, from the top layer of rice. So I'm starting on 9 temperature to get that fast, to put the lid on. Okay, back here. So with the garlic, it always talks about grating them, but it's just such a faff to grate garlic that I always just slice it. Perfect. So now that's the garlic cut, so I'm just scraping it to the side. You shouldn't actually use too much oil. It might actually be a bit too hot the pan. Because this way you've got on a lot of calories. Tiniest bit here. First I just stick it in, the chicken. At this stage, I'm going to try now see how many recipes require garlic. So this one doesn't need garlic, so it's only one other one. So what that means is with the garlic which I've cut up, I take half of it. I put half of it in now into this recipe. So we're back to the lime, so I'm just going to cut it into wedges. I'm going to come over to the rice. Chicken is coming along now. So curry paste. Smells pretty good. Okay, next it's something about the coconut milk and the vegetable stock, and then probably chili powder as well. Yeah. Although they have a tear bit, I always just snip the vegetable stock paste. It's just less fat, and then yeah, just double it, both of them together, just squeezing it in. And okay, so mixing it. A little bit of salt and a bit of pepper, and put it back on 9. Grab the limes, and so I've cut them up. It says squeeze them, but this is what I always do. I always cut them into pieces, and just with my hands. So now with the spinach, so it's starting to boil, so just put it straight in. So it will start to shrink, the spinach. So you just kind of need to get it in the hot sauce and it'll shrink faster. Here is where you can customize a bit of if you want the chili in. I'm just gonna stick 1 chili in this time. So you can make homemade pesticides with chili powder actually. So okay, so things are nearly done. The rice is sort of drying out. It's a bit questionable, a bit starchy. Maybe it would have been good to rinse it. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. Okay, so this is what I do, which really helps with the HelloFresh stuff. So I get these glass boxes and they've got super tight lids, and this really helps to keep things fresh. So I put the lids on straight away, partly to stop if there's any like flies or anything which come to the kitchen, but also I think it helps stop any sort of bacteria. Because what I've noticed is even 7-8 days later, these meals will be really fresh, just in the fridge. So you shouldn't put them in the fridge straight away if they're hot. It wastes electricity, and also it's not good for. Just gonna place it on the kitchen so it cools down and do the rest of them. This is where there's a lot of synergy, because although this stuff is dirty, I don't need to properly clean it up. I can just do it very, very quickly. Time now is 5:22 according to that clock. And so yeah, so you've seen it's just been quite quick for those 4 meals, but from now on, because we've done most of the work, everything's gonna be very quick. Very, very quick. Okay, so next one's 15. Number 15. Get it, dump it all out, tiny bit of oil. Actually gonna put in the garlic now. Noodles are in here, garlic's coming along nicely. The beans, I'm gonna put in now. So put cold water in because the hot water's not good for the pen. Okay, and then you put a bit of cold water in to stop it sticking. With all these sauces and stuff, I'm now just going to cut them up and put them in here. Fair bit of water in here, and then noodles. Nice. So I'm just trying to get everything into the sauce. So it might actually help to get 2 spoons. Okay, our next 4 meals are done. This is the beef teriyaki. So I'm going to put it to the side to cool down. The time is 5:46. On to our last one. Okay, so this one is the pasta one. Okay, so we're on to our last meal. So this is easy peasy chicken mushroom pasta, and it says 15 minutes. So first thing I'm going to do is open up the pasta and just stick it in the pot. Add a bit of salt to it. So a little bit of oil. So mushrooms can take quite a while to cook, so you've just got so much water. You really just want to let it sweat out. So I've got it on the maximum heat, I'm stirring a bit, I've got nothing covering it, just to help it evaporate. Okay, so just finishing up now. So I've just added the pasta into the wok, and this is where the wok is a lot better than a frying pan. You just fit so much in, and it helps with stirring, because as long as I'm careful, not everything will fall out. Okay, so easy peasy chicken mushroom pasta completed. Okay, so with the HelloFresh packs, you get these little ice blocks, and it's to help sort of stop the food from rotting if you during transit, and if you're not able to unpack it, put it into the fridge straight away. It says not to drink these, but you can feed the plants with them. What is actually quite a useful thing to do with this is, if you have back pains, you can actually store these. You can see a previous one in here. You can actually store them, and then they work perfectly. If you're having a achy back, you just need to ice it, just wrap it in a towel. Because I've already got quite a few of them, I'm just gonna empty them. So we've got our 12 meals here. And yes, it's just a tiny bit of washing up to do. Time on this clock is 6:16, so we're doing pretty well. So just a very quick tidy up, and then we're good. Okay, so time is 6:37, and we've got 12 meals done. We've got the Thai green curry, we've got the beef noodles, and we've got the mushroom pasta. So yeah. So it's quite good. So it's 6 days worth for lunch and dinner for myself. And then the kitchen is clean. All the rubbish is in here, so I'll take this down now. But yeah, kitchen completely clean. Yeah, so I'll just put this in the fridge and we're done. So here I have it all stacked in. Here are the 12 meals. I've actually got 2 left over from last week, so I'm keeping them separately. But yeah, so that's kind of how it fits into the fridge. So I'm hungry, and so I'm gonna now eat one of the HelloFresh meals that I've made. This is where it's very useful. So I can then choose, because I had my 3 meals. So I can either have the noodles, or the Thai green curry, or the mushroom pasta. And it's all ready to go. So what do I actually fancy? Let's go for the mushroom pasta. Okay, so these glass boxes I bought, you need to take the lid off. So it's airtight and it's very cold. So this is actually semi-frozen. So just in the microwave for 3 minutes. So, although I did the big cook before, as of right now, just in the microwave, ready to just be a couch potato and just watch some TV while I eat. And with this, what's nicer, although I did heat it up in the microwave, it's not cooked in the microwave. So it does taste just like proper food, like a proper meal, as opposed to just constantly eating microwave meals. Cool, so just finished the meal, and so in terms of cleanup, you can stick it in the dishwasher. So in this way, it doesn't actually take very long either. Done. Okay, so quick review of the nutritional content and the price of the HelloFresh stuff. So like a lot of these meal prep companies, you do have a range of choice with what meals you're picking and hence the nutritional content. For me, for HelloFresh, as I mentioned before, I sort of prioritise the speed of which you can actually cook and prepare the food. So in here, the first one you can see for the mushroom pasta, this one is actually not so much of a healthy meal. They don't really focus for this one on the low calorie content. But you can see the sort of breakdown here though. It does have a fair amount of protein. This one is a decent portion of fat. It's 40 grams and about 833 calories. So although I refer to it as a not healthy meal, it's not unhealthy. You know, it's just a normal meal. Next, looking at the beef noodles. So in the beef noodles, what you can see, this one is actually advertised as a healthier meal, a low calorie meal. So this one you can see it's actually almost just as much protein as the mushroom pasta, but this one is a lot less calories and a fraction or half of the fat content. So you can do this with HelloFresh if you want to. You can pick the healthy meals so you can really cut down on the calories. And then lastly, we've got the Thai green curry. So this one, yeah, it's a bit more of a healthier meal as well. Yeah, I guess it beats more in the middle. But as you can see, they're all like proper food, it's all proper meals. And for me, what I like about cooking your own food as opposed to just having it fully prepared for you already is it does feel healthier. So this is the proof of the pudding. And yeah, so you can see, so through HelloFresh, as opposed to just cooking on your own, you can actually see all the nutritional breakdown. So if you are really into your gym or really into your fitness, or if nothing else, just wanting to calorie count a bit, HelloFresh is very easy. Like I've never bothered to do it with normal cooking, but with HelloFresh it's just so easy. So next, looking at the price. So this is an interesting one to note. So often when I do these demos, these reviews of the meal prep companies, it's my first time registering with them, so I get the discount. For HelloFresh, it's actually has been my go-to for a long time. So when I was ordering, I don't actually have any discounts anymore because I've just ran out of the discounts. So here's the breakdown if you're like me and you no longer have the discounts and what it will be eventually if you keep going to HelloFresh. And so this is admittedly just for if you do 3 meals for 4 people, which is how I do it. So it'll be £43.99 plus the delivery fees, which takes you just to under £50. And then including the delivery fee, it's about £4.08 per meal. However, when you first subscribe to HelloFresh, you actually, in your first box, you get 60% off. I believe you still have the delivery fees, but for your 12 meals, it's only £17.60, and then per meal, it's £1.88. So that's like really cheap. So through this, it's definitely worth trying. And then after that, your next 2 months, so it's quite a lot, 2 months, it's £35.19 for the 12 meals, or £3.35 per meal. I think it's a lot cheaper than if you're doing cooking normally, unless you're really studenting it with your meal preps. But yeah, I think through this, it scores pretty well against the other meal prep companies. Okay, so here are my closing thoughts with HelloFresh. So first of all, just talking about prep time and cook time. So for myself, actually, in this example I've given in this video, it actually took me just over 2 hours because started cooking at 4:34 and then finished at 6:37, and that includes all the unpacking, all the cooking, all the putting into the boxes, putting the boxes into the fridge and washing everything up. So actually that was pretty rapid, and I think that might have been a PB for me. This said, it can take you a lot longer if you're not skilled with cooking the meals and if you're not too familiar with them. I did have a flatmate, and she, even if we use quicker meals, she would just take forever. She would take like 80 minutes just to do one of the cooks. And then she'd have to take a break before doing the washing up. So yeah, it is a bit of a skill set to get fast with it. In terms of calories, it's really easy to see all the nutritional content, but this said, it's not actually too specific to HelloFresh. This is more of meal prep companies. They're generally quite good for it. But what is different with HelloFresh is because you're actually cooking the food, you can actually customize it a bit. So, you can use like less oil, or if it's saying add like a knob of butter, you can just decide not to use the butter. And in this way, you can actually cut down on stuff, or other way around, you can actually spice it up a bit by adding a bit of flavor. In terms of taste, I massively prefer the taste of actually having cooked the food myself. With prepped pots and just microwave meals, you do really kind of notice it. It feels not great when you're eating microwave food. It's a bit like army ration sort of stuff. And then with Thrive or Lion's Prep, although it's very delicious, it does feel like just leftovers from eating at a fancy hotel, which is great, but also it's, you just don't feel like it's the healthiest food, although it may actually be okay. So yeah, with HelloFresh, I always feel like I'm eating well, and I'm doing well by eating it. HelloFresh is really good with price, especially when you consider the discounts. Admittedly, when I'm doing these comparisons with prepped pots and Lion's Prep, I ordered like the whole menu, so that's why it was like a lot more. But this said, even per meal, it's a lot cheaper. It's like £4 as opposed to maybe like 7 or 8 or closer to 10 sometimes. So that's really good. And then you can even get it even cheaper than this if you bulk buy and cook with other people. Because something like prepped pots or Lion's Prep, you're paying for the meals individually. And so if you have more people, you don't get any synergy with this. But with HelloFresh, you're able to bulk buy, and you are able to get a cheaper cost per meal when you do it all together. So it's actually something which is quite good if you live with other people and they're willing to cook. Okay, so some specific advantages for HelloFresh. Something I really like is it doesn't actually fill up your bins too much, because if you meal prep it, like you saw, I had the big cardboard box, and all the rubbish I just put in there and then just took it out in one go. And that's the majority of my rubbish for the week. And so it means you're not constantly having to empty the bins. Something else which is quite good is by actually having to cook the food, it does actually develop this skill set in you. And you do actually pick up tricks and things, and it's just got a useful life skill being able to cook. Some specific disadvantages though. It's not good. It's an absolute disaster if when you're trying to do your big cook, somebody else comes in and they're wanting to use the kitchen as well. And if you've got like a 2 to 3 hour period where you've blocked out the kitchen and you're doing all your cooking then, it's super annoying, and it's likely to happen. So even at the best of times, it's annoying when someone takes your food from the fridge. But with HelloFresh, when you spend all this time cooking and someone takes your food, it doesn't, you don't feel the sense of justice by charging them £4 for having eaten your meal. So that gets extra annoying. And then the last bit I'll just add is, although you can decide to do it in a group with the cooking, it's you can sort of find that with your flatmates, they can be quite lazy sometimes, and put it off like 8 to 9 p.m. and they still haven't done their cook yet. Or they can just be not too great at cooking, like things are burnt or undercooked, or just like half the ingredients are missing, haven't been flavored well. So that can get annoying. But overall, I'm a big fan of HelloFresh, and I highly, highly recommend that you try it at least once, because you get 60% off your first box. And if you are going to do it, please use the reference link here.